I have to say, if I was picturing a Highland Scotch, and I always think like lighter, more subtle flavors for Highland Scotches, and I have to kind of pay attention just a little bit more to get some of the nuances because they're subtle. This is like its big cousin.
Hey everybody.
Hey guys.
Welcome to Scotch for Dummies.
4 guys on a Scotch journey to help you with your next Scotch purchase. Could be this one. Hopefully
It's
it is.
10 years old.
It's got an age statement.
Can't be all bad.
We've had one of these.
I do not believe we have.
Aaron.
And it's a pretty popular one, especially after last year with all the awards and Roy's Award. And
I'm pretty sure
Ralphie's
we've
Award
had an
and-
Aaron over the years, but I don't know that we
wasn't this
reviewed
one.
it, right? Did we
And
review
they
it?
have redesigned their bottle and
Yeah.
cans since then.
I like them much better now.
Yes. Yes.
I do like the new design, but established in 1994, obviously they hail from the island of Arran,
Now that's a Highland, technically.
which is weird if
but
you
it's-
look at the
but it's an
map.
island all by itself between Campbelltown and the rest of the.
And the lowlands, actually, I mean, it's the most southern highland you're going to get.
And there's another distillery that opened up in 2019, which is the sister, brother,
I guess,
whatever,
yeah.
the Lag, I think it
Lag
is.
Distillery, it's on the south side of the island.
Supposed to be
whereas-
more peated.
So is it only a Highland just because it's an island? If it was connected to the mainland, would it be a lowland?
Or it could be Campbelltown.
Could be Campbelltown.
If it,
Because all the islands are technically Highlands,
Right.
right?
That's correct.
So it's semantics.
It's
is
semantics.
Fair
yes,
enough.
because if you look at geographical location, it
It's
should
not.
be a Campbelltown or a lowland.
That's right.
Right.
But-
it can't be a Campbelltown because it's not on the shaft, and it's not and it's not it's an island, so it has to be
Exactly.
because they classify them all that way.
Which
Seems lazy.
I think it's a matter of time before the SWA finally acknowledges the islands as being their own region. But
Or even if they don't, like, hey man, we're gonna cut the line here and we're just gonna take it out into the water, and this guy's probably
Right.
a lowland also.
I could see that happening too.
In 1994, it's been around for a minute. In 2019, they also redesigned their whole bottle, which is what this is right now. Bigger cork, smaller, kind of a little fatter, but new design's pretty cool.
Has Braille.
Has Braille.
I don't care about that.
Fancy
but
Braille.
I will say I like the bottle is very unique.
I like it.
I mean, it's got its own character to it. I like the, I don't know, squished part up here, but it looks cool. It doesn't look like a lot of the other bottles you see.
They got the lat long numbers
Yeah,
on the
the-
cork, and
Yep.
you know,
Yeah, it's a
And,
nice
and
looking-
some eagles. I guess they had some eagles when they were building the distillery that nested, et cetera. There's some pretty cool branding
Is that
to
what's
it.
on the?
Yeah.
46% ABV, 10 years old. There are other bottles in their core lineup that are non-age. I think they do have an 18-year-old on their core as well. And then some of their limited releases that are peated that are out of this distillery, the Loch Ranza distillery. But supposedly the Log distillery is supposed to be for their peated expressions
Yeah.
moving forward. So
Non-chill
Okay.
filtered, natural color, 46 ABV. Should be a pretty good one. And it's run some awards. It's very, very popular online right now. So let's get into this guy and get to the nosing.
Smells like a Highland. I mean, it does.
after all that shit we just
It's
said.
got, yeah, I mean, I have to take it all back and say, well, maybe they know what they're talking about, right? Like, it's got the honey, and I mean, it is a little bit, I would say, kind of fruitier a little bit, but it's like apricots and
It does have a lot of apricots, some tropical fruits to it. Bananas,
There's
honey.
a little bit of lemon in there.
There's yeah,
I like the
definitely
color.
some lemon too.
I couldn't really get much information on the maturation. I've got to assume ex-bourbon, but there's nothing on their website to tell you any different, or on the bottling. I think there are some rumors that there's some sherry finishing going on in there.
I
but
bet there has to be to get some of those fruits in the nose.
it's fruity, but it's really nice. Very approachable glass.
Not hot on the nose at all.
No.
Not really on the palate either. I mean, it does. You can tell that it's not a 40%. It's got a little bit of that alcohol burn, but it's just layered with honey and graham cracker and a lot of fruit notes, and it's just very nice. Nice, light, easy drink.
It is, and it has a little bit of meatiness to it.
There's a maltiness in there.
There is,
There is.
but it's a nice semi-sweet in front. I mean, it's nothing too overbearing. It's got some fruit notes to it, honey, a little sweetness, but like it's really blended well with that meaty maltiness
Yep.
going on. Finish is short.
You guys have both said honey, and honestly, not to slice it too much, I get honeycomb. I'm like, we ever smelled honey that's still in the honeycomb? And you get that, it's got a little bit of a waxy note to it.
It does.
Yeah, and this does. And it's got a little bit of more body than I would have thought.
Yeah.
For this particular dram. And I mean, I'm sure that comes from the actual cuts that they're making.
Probably.
And they've got a little bit meatier, thicker dram. But it's good.
This is very good right out of the gate.
What's the price point on that?
I don't know for sure. I think it's around $75 maybe. It's a 10-year-old. I have to look it up to be honest.
Well, I was on their website, and their website I think had it priced for 37
Oh, is it cheaper than
pounds.
that? Okay. Well, then that's probably closer to 50 some odd dollars.
Yeah,
Well,
$55-$60 probably.
It probably depends on the tariff situation when this
Yeah.
came in the country, too.
That's true.
So, I mean, it may be, with
could
tax
be.
and everything, it might be closer to
Everything
70.
else has been going up, to be honest with you guys. I don't know if you've been looking at the prices on
Mm-hmm.
the shelves, but what are we gonna? Let's put the number on this so that I can actually try to think about the value on it. Because I'll tell you what, Ralphie did.
65, 70.
Yeah.
Ralphie did. He takes value, and he scored. This is whiskey of the year in
He
21.
did, yes.
So
He did.
and he's saying that from a value perspective.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, it's nice with water, too.
I
Oh,
gotta
you
try
already
it.
added water?
Yeah,
You're
man.
way ahead of me.
I'm not messing around.
This is so good right out of the gate. Like, this is very enjoyable. You probably won't put too much water, right? 46? Oh,
I put about 4
Wow,
or
man!
5
I
drops
tell you
on.
what, I could take it neat.
I'll tell you what, this would be a good cocktail scotch too, because it's got enough like depth of flavor and character. It kind of holds up.
Heaviness,
It's got a
thickness.
decent finish, but it's not like over long lingering.
Yeah.
And I think it would mix pretty well with some cocktail ingredients. But it's real good right out of the gate, just in your glass.
You know, I'm going to get butchered for this, but you made a point there with the cocktails. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Monkey Shoulder with that kind of maltiness. It's more fulfilling. It's got a little bit more rounding, blended better than what that is. But this is very malty for what I'm getting. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really good.
That water brought on some of that vanilla note from that bourbon cat, that oak.
Yep.
That
And now I'm getting a little more lemon than I was getting before. It's nice.
Yeah, it brought up some spices too in the nose I didn't have before. Some
I gotta
allspice.
be honest. I'll start off here, man. We got to get into our groove here and talk
Hit it.
through this. So, the last year and a half, heck, I should probably say 2.5 because I kind of lost one for COVID, right? I've really been in a sherry forward Scotch mood. That's been my palate. That's been my sweet spot. This is not that, and I'm really enjoying it. I really like just the malt forward, the honey aspect to it, a little bit of citrus note in that lemon. I really enjoyed it neat. I think the water brought out a little bit more sweetness, a little bit more vanilla, which is pretty typical from an oak, right? I think it's really solid. 10 years, which is cool that they put an age statement on it. I love the fact that they put it at 46% and not 40. Thank you, Aaron.
Yep.
It makes me really interested in what else they're doing. Let me think about it. I got to put a number on this, don't I?
You do.
Being the fact that I don't remember scoring an Aaron, and if I did, it was 4 or 5 years ago.
It's been a long
I'm
time.
really enjoying this. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I really think this is solid. This is pretty all right. Ralphie and Roy and everybody else that scored this their whiskey of the year,
And the tuber community.
The tuber community got this right. I'm jumping on that bandwagon.
Yeah, this is an interesting bottle. You know, we've heard the hype is worth it right now for what I'm hearing. I mean, it's not like uber complex. It's not going to blow you out of the gates with crazy flavors, but it's well done. Like it's the nose is there. Wow. It's very elegant. It's sophisticated. If you like your like to me, this is right there with. I want to go with what I think a normal Scotch would be, like your Balvenie Sweet Taste of American Oak. This is right there with. That's a 12-year-old, same price range. But at 10 is right there with it. This is maltier than that,
I
right?
think so.
And this is really good right out of the gate. The water I added to it didn't do anything at all. I think it maybe added some more flavor in the nose and the palate. Nothing major. This is really, really good. I enjoy it. I'm gonna give it a strong 3. I think it's well worth a 10-year-old Scotch. Yeah, I mean for sure a 3.
Yep. So I went into this like, all right, so we were making fun of Highland stuff, right? Like,
Right.
I mean, fair. But I have to say, if I was picturing a Highland Scotch, and I always think like lighter, more subtle flavors for Highland Scotches, and I have to kind of pay attention just a little bit more to get some of the nuances because they're subtle. This is like its big cousin, right? It's
Really
like,
is.
hey, how you
It
doing,
is.
man? It's just kind of bigger and stronger, but not in a bad way. I mean, I think the flavors kind of come out a little bit higher. I think the fact that they bottled it at 46 ABV helps that and kind
I
of lets
agree.
you
Smart.
get into the bottle a little bit more and find those things. It's just really good. It was good, neat. It was good with water. I think it'd be good in a cocktail. If it had a little bit more complexity and depth of character, I would definitely rank it higher. But I think it's a solid 3.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I'm right
getting
there with you.
I'm getting like some passion fruit on it. Now that water's really sat in it for a while on the palate, I think this is really enjoyable. It's pleasant.
No, this is great. This is definitely an everyday drammer, and honestly, it's available too. It's not like it's constrained. I mean, I've seen it on the shelves.
Right.
So,
You can find
I mean,
this one.
I would like to try their 18.
You know, the irony is, doesn't taste anything like Campbelltown or Lowland.
No, no, it does not. Not
like a
like
Highland.
anything. Maybe like a Jura.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Well,
maybe.
so
You know
it's an
what I mean?
It
island.
does.
Yeah.
It does kind of.
So
yeah.
I think it has more in common with that than any of those
I
others.
agree.
But
I agree.
But it's really good, solid dram.
I'm with
happy.
you. I want to try the 18, the 16, and I'm actually really looking forward to the lag, the peated version eventually. So,
Now
Right.
yeah.
somebody's got to do that math.
I think it's like a 3.18 since there's only 3 of us.
We'll figure it
We're
out in the
missing
credits
one.
there. It's
the
right
guy that
there
does
right
the
now.
math. Hey guys, Aaron 10.
Aaron 10.
Beat that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Wow.
3, 2, 1.
Here we